everybody. Welcome to Draining the Swamp. I have my lovely co host with me, Arthur from Arthur Ease Your Mind, and Mel Dora, the Aloha Shirt Psychic. And I think I did to contact Arthur. You can reach him at www.arthureaseyourmind.com or you can reach him on YouTube. And to contact Mel, you can reach him at meldor, MELDOERR.com or on YouTube, or you can call his office at 847-590-5411. And let's see. Mel's got.
Oh, Peru, yes.
Oh, I'll put me last. Don't worry.
Okay. I was going to say, what about you, Shari? Yes.
He's got a Peru trip coming up in September.
I payment in by the 16th, and after that, I can't sell any more Peru. So if you're going to come, sign up.
Get on the stick.
Yeah. And Iceland, I have openings. I need like 3 or 4 more people. I have some cancellations. You know, people are saying they're afraid to leave the country. I'm a psychic. And trust me, if I thought these trips were going to be unsafe, you'd think my butt would be on those airplanes. I
was going to say.
So,
and of course, we are all big fans of Andrew's skincare. So I've got that web up. Also, all of these links are in the description box below if you want to go in and look.
Andrew is a very spiritual guy.
He's very sweet.
And his products, I think, kind of, you feel the power of that spirituality in a good way. There's nothing about it. It's just great stuff. Anyway,
he's very sweet, and he sent me a couple of emails that are just were just charming as all hell. I was like, well, he was just so sweet. And then, because I asked him if he could send a starter pack to Marina, since she's in Canada, said, that way you maybe she can get some Canadian interest going for you there. And so he was like, absolutely. And I guess he saw her with you, Mel. Y'all did a show recently. Yeah. And because he sent me an email, he said, I saw her with Mel and she was already excited about it. She hadn't even gotten it yet. I said, yes. And she's been listening to us talk about it.
Back to Iceland real quick. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
It is for 7 days. One of the highlights, well, there's a lot of highlights. So go to the Blue Lagoon. So you bring your swimming trunks, and it's this volcanic water. It's healing. So it's cold outside, but you're in this wonderful warm water. Icelanders heat their homes with the steam from the volcanoes, actually. So it's going to be really cool. Well, it'll be really cool, all right.
Literally.
In more ways than one.
Right, that's why they call it Iceland. Also, we're going to see the Northern Lights, and that's going to be really incredible. And to go see the waterfalls, which are supposed to be amazing. It's supposed to be a beautiful country. It's for a week. Linda Grindel's sister's coming with us. So everybody, if you're interested, I've still got until July the 1st for you to get people signed up. So come with us. You'll have a great time. Okay, enough of my infomercials.
Okay. Just to add to it, and I remember being told this in school. Now, I've never been to either country, so I don't know if it's actually true or not. Hopefully, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But I was told once that it was funny because Iceland was green and Greenland was ice, and that they should have changed names. That's how the teacher explained it to us in like 4th grade or something. So
Iceland does have warm weather during the summer months, but if you dig down, you still go to the permafrost. The ground's still frosty.
Okay, that's what she meant. Because that sentence just always stuck in my brain, and so every time I ever hear anybody talk about Iceland or Greenland, I always think they need to switch names.
And I think they have 24 hours of, not 24, but sometimes it's almost full daylight. And during the winter, it's almost full dark. It gets like real dusky, but I couldn't live with that. But it gets very cold there, of course. But I don't know why they call it Greenland and Iceland. They're both really cold. Oh,
Yeah, we were ready to name them, so we just
we
got to
won't
stick
tell.
with
We
what
won't
they
tell
gave it.
Cheeto. We won't tell Cheeto Leany because then he'll be saying he wants Greenland as well and Iceland as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Um, all right, I'm
So
just
Sherry, how do they?
skimming for some questions.
Sherry, how do they get a hold of you?
Oh,
Yeah.
swampvoices@gmail.com. Very easy. I will even put it in the chat. Yeah, I forgot to mute when I type because it clickety clacks on everybody. Yeah, so just shoot me an email and say you want a reading or whatever, and we will go from there. I am working on a website during the summer, so I'm hoping to have everything that what I want put together and put out before the end of summer. Fingers crossed. So
It's going to be fantastic. I got a feeling. I'm looking down because every time I do this, the dog just tiptoes in here, and she's got her toy in her mouth. And if I don't pet her, she keeps going like this. So,
well, she can't pop up and say hello.
I don't think she'll get up here. Look up here. I can show her to you. Maybe see if you can see her.
Yeah.
In there. See her?
Oh, look at that birdie baby.
She's got her toy in her mouth. See?
Yeah.
Girl. So she likes for me to rub her. And see, now if I stop, she's not going to like it.
What kind of dog is it?
She's part Australian. They see.
Oh, look at that face. Oh my goodness.
She's part Australian cattle dog. Lucky, come up here. No, she's not going to do it.
She's like, no, I'm not interested.
Australian cattle dog, part Kelpie, and she's got a touch of body in her. She's about 45 pounds, but she's a sweetie. But now she's going to camera bomb us. So
Yeah,
that's
there you go. Well, I know she looks similar to my brother's dog. My brother has a lab mutt.
Oh,
mix,
now
solid
look
black.
Oh, now we see Miss Lucky.
Oh, God, look at those eyes.
I'm ready for my close up.
She's going to photo bomb
Ready
us.
for my close up, Mr. DeMille. Oh my goodness, she's gorgeous. Yeah, my brother has a lab mutt mix, a rescue dog. The biggest chicken I've ever met in my life.
Lucky you hit your chance of fame and you blew it there, girl. So.
No, that's all right. We all saw her and fell in love instantly. So
I got her from Chicago.
All right.
Chicago Canine Rescue. Whenever I get money on
Oh,
that's
cool. Yeah.
Where she came from. So.
And Acadian Proud, my Cajun cousin, has some wonderful advice for everybody. Keep sending love, calming strength, and positive white light, and to the guides and angels to use for the good of the world. Surround them. Somebody was asking me, what can I do? And I said, just send white energy light to surround all those doing bad stuff, so that when they try to do bad stuff, they get inundated by all that positive energy. I said, maybe we can make a difference that way. So,
and not to get up in the fear, Aloha, people ask me why I wear Aloha shirts and why the Aloha. Alo means in Hawaiian, the center of all creation. God, Keakua, or in ancient Hawaiian Keakua was spirit. God, the center of all creation. Ha is breath. So when I say Aloha, I'm sharing with you my breath from the center of all creation. And when you say it back, we're sharing the energy of that breath, the mana of that. And so Aloha represents kindness, caring, love, inclusiveness, giving, sharing, honoring the earth mother, giving thanks. So that's why I like to spread Aloha. How do you do it? Just a kind deed. Just by saying Aloha and meaning it.
that makes a huge difference.
Other people feel that, So, I mean,
when you say aloha, you smile. It forces you to smile.
But
it does.
People say aloha. No, it's not. It's aloha. Aloha. Yeah. You got to get that ha. aloha
Aloha.
or mahalo. Just thank you.
Um,
But it's not like aloha. No. It's aloha.
no, you got to put a little emphasis, just like with the Cajun language, with the French. You know, you say bonjour or bonsoir, depending on the level of friendship there, and you got to say it with the right inflection and tone, or they just think you're being rude. Um, Real quick, I have a new member,
Yeah.
Cindy L. Thank you.
Danielle, this is wonderful.
And I appreciate your membership. That's fantastic. And I'm skimming. Let's go ahead and throw a few questions. Well, let's see. Wait, there was one I wanted to post. Technically, wasn't really a question, just kind of some info from artist Liz. Just sent 700 Marines and 2,000 more National Guard.
Ooh. As we were talking about before the show, my guides are showing me that, and this is for entertainment purposes only, that in my opinion, and this is just my psychic opinion, it's not fact, it's my psychic opinion. And opinions are like, you know what? But my guides tell me that the protests were peaceful until there were agitators sent in. And those agitators were sent in to rile up the crowd and to make it look like it was the protesters who were being violent, and they were not. It was agitators, in my opinion. The cars that burned, the protesters, I understand, did not like. That was maybe some of the protesters or so-called military that did that. Trump is using this as a litmus test. They are trying to create anarchy, and he's already said, with Black Lives Matter and, Tim Walz, they let it go on for 4 days, and look at what I've done. I ended it right away. Yeah, Donald, because your agitators started it. And why would you go in a certain area of LA that you knew was a hot spot? I'm telling you, they tried to engineer this whole thing.
It's engineered.
And the reason it's a litmus test to see how far they can get by in other cities, and also to see how much he can get by with turning the military against the American people. And
Well, I know yesterday Arthur had his solo show, and every other question was asking him about LA. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I do see violence above and beyond what's going on now. And I remember Kent State. I was in high school at the time, and it was a tragedy. And I did a show with Linda today, and she said that she feared another something like Kent State. And when she said that, it's something I've been thinking a long time. My stomach, I just got this knot in the pit of my stomach. And that's why I said I'm nervous at the beginning, before we went on, about violence. But at some point, remember, and that Trump is doing this because then he's going to try to use things like this as a way to prevent martial law. I mean, I'm sorry, to try to enable martial law.
Martial law, yeah.
And for a while, it'll look as if he succeeds, but at the end of the day, he will not. Now, let me interject one more thing, then I'll shut up. Arthur said something in the beginning in Los Angeles, because I thought about Arthur and his safety with what was going on. And Arthur, what did you say? They make it look like the whole city's on fire, but what did you say?
They're making as if the entire city's on fire and we're under siege. And it's only one small section in the federal building where most of this is happening. And yesterday, they had people lined up, arm in arm, just protesting. And it was the police that came out and just started to shoot tear gas into the crowd.
Right.
They were not agitating. They were not. They were just. It was peaceful. Right. And then with the bullets and everything, rubber bullets, they didn't give any warning or anything. But when I see it on television, I'm like, oh my god. But then I look out the window, it's like everything's fine.
Yeah.
And trying to stop their right to protest. It was like was unauthorized or something, and
Yeah.
the Marines being called in, it's to protect federal property. No, I'm telling you that I don't know. I just see innocent people getting hurt a lot more than what's happened.
Yeah.
And you know,
And when that happens, that's when I feel everybody's going to be like, what are we doing?
that's going to create a powder keg. And I'm nervous about this country being very near a civil war. And Donald Trump would like to take it there, in my opinion. That's just
He's pushing for it. He's been pushing for it since day one. Yeah.
Anyway, no, I'm
it's
bandwagon.
Yeah, it's okay. We had a good thing to say.
I like
again,
Barbie said, why are
it?
we being punished? Because Stephen Miller's wife left him for Muskrat? That could be.
I don't know.
I don't think that's it. But
this is all distraction.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Right after the Epstein file thing mentioned, he ramps this up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because as soon as
I foresee Elon Musk letting a lot out about Trump, and the fact that the two red states that he put Trump in, he didn't mention them, which I intuit was Pennsylvania and Michigan.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't do that. My computer did it. I did.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
it must be haunted.
You got it, Apple. So that's what it is.
So anyway, but I really feel like Musk is going to come out with a lot more against Trump. And when Trump told Musk, don't even think about backing Democrats because there will be huge consequences. My feeling is behind the scenes, Musk is going to be doing just that. I don't like Elon Musk, but I got a feeling.
But I got a feeling he's got a lot more dirt on him than Donald does on Musk.
Well, there was some scuttlebutt about that Musk supposedly called Trump, but Trump didn't take the call. I don't know if that's true or false, but that war of the worlds will continue. I think
his daddies got divorced.
Right.
Who's gonna get Vance? Who gets custody?
Well, he's right.
Have you noticed his eyes lately? He's gonna look like Amy Winehouse by the end of the month.
Thank you. At the rate he's going, it's like, I wear eyeliner too, but geez Louise, I don't make it 2 inches thick all the way around my eyes.
And he says he's not gay or bi. Okay, not that all gay people wear eyeliner. We don't. And he's so against transgender, and he's got his eyeliner on. Okay, Maybelline.
Yeah, and Elon has his gender affirming hair plugs and facelift.
Right, exactly. But I foresee Musk sinking a lot of money into the midterms to serve Donald Trump, and he would do it because at this point he doesn't want anything in return, just to get this. It'll be interesting, but I really think a lot of this is a smokescreen, no pun intended, because if you look at what's going on in Ukraine, they are whooping Russia's butt right now. And I see a lot more of these Trojan horses they have, nobody knows about, a much larger spider web Ukraine has anticipated. And I just laugh because I hear people say, oh, look at what Ukraine's doing to Russia. Excuse me, Ukraine is not targeting civilians. They're targeting infrastructure.
And they didn't start this war.
Well, but
Russia did.
But the bottom line is they're not targeting civilians. Putin, on the other hand, bombs cities, bombs apartment buildings, houses to kill civilians.
Right.
So,
somebody pointed out that there were people in Russia that were recording the bombs that Ukraine was doing. And then they said, well, we know they're not going to hit us in an apartment building. That's why we're still here. But Russia, indiscriminate.
Now, Putin would be the type that would bomb an apartment building in Russia and blame it on Ukraine. That he would do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hitler burned down Germany, Berlin.
Yeah. The false flags. I keep waiting for Dumpy Pants to do the same thing, And I think that's part of what he's trying to do now in LA is he's trying to rile everybody up so that he can push people to the point that they step over that line. I have to give it credit to Governor Newsom. Now, I don't know him that well. I've not ever followed him that much, but he was very, very pissed off on the news yesterday when he was talking with Brian Tyler Cohen and some of the others, where he was like, look, they need to stop trying to make this into something it's not. And at this point, I know that as of first thing this morning, they filed lawsuits in court
Yes.
against the Trump administration for trying to instigate trouble. Yes, Arthur.
And also on Friday, the Los Angeles Police Department put out a statement saying, the protesters are, everything's going well. That we don't, and it was commenting on how well organized everybody was, and we don't, and then Newsom said he was talking to Trump on Friday, and not once did he mention the National Guard.
Right.
Or the protesters. It never came up in the conversation.
And so
First
then,
time in decades that a president has done this. I think when they did it before, it was with George Wallace when he wouldn't
correct,
desegregate it.
but they were to help civil rights.
Correct. They were to
Now
help.
this is the complete opposite.
Right. Bonnie McCord has a good question here. It says, love you all. Thank you. I love our military, as do I. There we go. You can read it, Shari.
Love our military, but will they honor their oath to the Constitution or dictator Trump? My family is military, praying they will abide the Constitution and not treat it as AWOL. There are a lot of military people and other folks that are talking about that today from what I was hearing online, about there were a lot of veterans who are outraged, who were talking directly when they get in the camera's face. They were talking directly to the National Guardsmen and whatnot there, and they were like, remember your oath. You vowed to protect the Constitution and the country and the American people from terrorism, from foreign or domestic. And you've got a terrorist in, sitting in the White House trying to cause this to happen. And it's up to you to not follow through.
I'm not a lawyer.
That's what I've heard a lot of them saying. I'm sorry, Mel, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. I drew a card for it. One of Trish James' card, and it says consequence, damage done. So yeah, there's going to be consequences to this, and there's already damage being done. So
I'm not a lawyer, nor do I know military law, but I do know this much, that if you're in the military and if your superior gives you an unlawful order, you have the right to question it. So I see a lot of National Guard and a lot of Marines question order, specifically if it comes down to shoot,
Right.
open fire on innocent protesters.
And the National Guard
would say they were insurrectionists, they were this, they were that. Then he found it amazing the insurrections that happened in the Capitol, and he said they were heroes. They were trying to overthrow our government, but yet he used the military against peaceful protesters.
Right.
I'm sorry, Arthur. Go ahead. I
thought you were done. What I also heard is that National Guard has no authority to hold anybody, detain anybody, arrest anybody. They're just there to keep things moving along.
right.
But I don't know about the
plays out.
Well, I know there are several really good memes up that veterans associations have been posting today, saying to the current military folks that there are laws to protect them, to not follow unlawful laws. They were posting 1-800 numbers to special law clinics and attorneys who handle that kind of thing, that if they're given unlawful orders, that it's their right to walk away. Here's the number. If it happens, you call and they will be there to back you up. So it's nice to see, and something that I was truly expected to happen anyway. But it was nice to see a lot of these veterans groups really stepping up and saying, no, we don't follow unlawful orders. And if you're given one, you walk away. Here's a number to call to give you protection.
My guy
So,
told me that what's going on in Los Angeles with Trump's interference and all of that, and the agitators, this has sparked a powder keg. And if we're not careful, it can explode into a lot more. I do think people will begin to protest and continue to protest in mass. But if any one of those protesters are hurt, the people most of us aren't going to believe the rhetoric, and it's going to create people in mass yelling, we want this to stop,
yeah.
And I think, it's going to get cray-cray, but I really think if Trump doesn't, if he continues to call in the National Guard and tries martial law and all that, really, I mean, he's really, and he's playing, but this is purposeful. He wants to put gasoline on the fire.
Yeah, that's his whole point. And thank you, Rose. Yeah, the Pos Comitatus Act prevents the U.S. military being used against American citizens.
He's going to say they weren't citizens; they didn't have citizenship.
Yeah,
that's the way around it.
Well, and that's what's so aggravating as well is they're sending these unknown ICE agents who have no badges, no uniforms, nobody knows who the heck they are. And they're sending them into courtrooms for people that are there for their hearings to become a citizen and snatching them up and dragging them out. They just went into some schools like kindergarten, first grade for their graduation ceremonies, snatching parents out of the audience and dragging them off, leaving their kids up on the stage crying. I heard, I saw a clip earlier somebody had posted, and it's like, this is madness that he is pushing this. And
it's a trial run.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And then with his little parade coming up on Saturday.
Right. We'll see how that goes. And that's going to make people mad too.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I just see a powder keg, and I just see it just been, the fuse has just been ignited, and it's getting really close. That's right. So, I even see military people standing up against Trump saying, we're not doing this.
Yeah. Well, for those who have never bothered to read a history book in their lives, they need to go look up a few things about World War II and what happened to all of the military and their people and people in the towns and whatnot that didn't stand up against Hitler's orders. And they were very distinctly told, your ignorance, or you got an order, that's too bad. You knew it was wrong. You're just as guilty. There were a lot of those guys that got put into prison because they were just following orders.
Just judgment in Nuremberg.
Yeah, exactly. And there was a lot of things that Hitler and his people did to stir up more problems. And yeah, Trump wants to arrest him. I tell you what, I don't know if Newsom's planning on running for president or not, but if he is, I think yesterday and today probably pretty much locked up most of the votes for him.
If they were to arrest him, his chances go up. There's also Tom Homan that wants him arrested.
My feeling is that Newsom will run for president.
Say it.
My feeling is that Newsom will run for president.
Oh, yeah.
My feeling is also, this is my psychic impression, that if Newsom if Newsom is arrested, boy, you're right. That means
his numbers will go up,
way up. The other part of it is, I think Newsom is almost wanting them to.
Oh,
dare him.
He was on MSNBC yesterday saying, "Come on, coward! You want to arrest me? I'm right here. You know where I'm at. Come on." I was like, oh, damn. I mean, he's not afraid of them. I got to give him that. He is not afraid of any of these people.
But here's what we have to look at. It's funny that during, election years, the social issues don't get people elected. The economic issues do. And the way that Trump and them lied about the economy and spun it. So I think at some point Newsom's going to give Trump a taste of his own medicine and say, look at what you've done to the economy. Because even though all this is exploding, the economy is going to take a nosedive.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like, inflation with these tariffs, the stock markets, all that manipulation, all that's going to come out. And people, a lot of people that voted for Trump, not MAGAs, but they're going to be like, oh, wait a minute. Look at this economy. It really is in shambles. I never noticed that when Democrats are in office, they get the economy straightened out.
It's cleaned up, and then the Republicans come in and wipe it. It's like when Clinton left, we had a surplus.
Right. Within a couple years, we had a deficit.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had a
Yeah,
house.
and that's why the Dems can't get anything done. It's because they're too busy cleaning up the mess left by the Republicans.
We had the crash of the housing market under the Republican.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was the worst president in American history, but I guess Trump will prove that one wrong. But I still think that, people look at economic issues, and the economy is going to start, it's going to be like a roller coaster. People are paying more at the grocery store, coming home with less, cuts to Medicaid. People can't get affordable health care. And they're going to be mad, and rightfully so. So my feeling is also the economy will help to bring down MAGA once and for all.
Eileen, you won the internet today. Woke equals means I was awake in history class.
Sure does.
Bravo. Exactly.
Debbie Smith, this is a good one. Hello, Marvelous Mel, and awesome Arthur, and Sister Nation Shari. How will MAGA find out the truth? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Shari.
No, you can read it. Go ahead.
How will MAGA find out the truth about 45 if they only listen to fake news? I think many of them already know the truth. They just don't care. They want to stay in power.
Well, and some of the fake news is starting to actually report the truth. Not very many of them, and it may only be a sentence or two, but it's starting to get out there. And some of the top journalists that have been on air and well known for the last 10, 15, 20 years, they've now all walked away from these jobs and they've gone independent. I mean, Katie Fang is the newest member to create her own YouTube channel. And I mean, she's shooting up like a rocket. And I kind of always knew she was probably a little bit more on the left than in the center. Now I know that's where she comes from because, before she had that corporate job at CNN and she had to stay within certain parameters, and she's not doing it now. She's letting it come out. Joy Reid finally started her own YouTube channel, The Joy Reid Show, and she's up and running with stuff. So, I mean, and that's just two off the top of my head. But what was the guy from CNN that Trump hated? Or Don Lemon is one, but it was the white guy. I can't think of his name.
Cuomo.
No, not him. The one that they banned from the White House, and he had to fight him to get his
I don't know.
Acosta, is that his name?
Oh yeah. That's his name.
Yeah, he's got his Substack and YouTube and blowing it up. I mean, it really is.
The question being, how will MAGA find out? What about when mom and dad's Medicare is no longer there and they can't stay in a nursing home and they have to come move back in with the kids?
Hold on, you mean Medicaid?
Medicaid. Sorry, Medicaid.
Yeah.
I used to be a social worker and I did all the Medicaid applications. So.
Sorry. But what I'm saying is when they have no Medicaid and mom and dad are saying, can we move back in with you?
Yeah, or literally getting dumped on their doorstep saying, yeah, they can't afford to live here
or
anymore.
or the people who are lower socioeconomic strata who got help through Medicaid and who got like help to buy food and stuff like that when that help is no longer there. Those people voted for Trump, but many of them are turning against him already. And so I don't think all the MAGAs, just like I don't think all the MAGAs will open their eyes to Trump. They'll stay loyal to the racist, bigoted
Well, it gives them
BS.
permission.
But I do see them crawling back in the woodwork, and I see legislation being passed to keep this sort of crap from ever happening again.
Yeah.
What I said yesterday was with all these ICE people, with the masks and everything, why don't they just give them a white sheet to wear?
And I also think that it's going to come out that they were deputized illegally, and
Yep.
and
But Arthur's right. Just give
They're
them their
also-
white sheet and let them go out
Yeah.
as their true intention is.
well, because we
And
know what they
a lot
represent.
of them have Nazi tattoos. They're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's a surface cross.
Here's a good. Kimberly asked, will Trump go to the G7 on the 15th? And if so, will world leaders give him the cold shoulder?
Well, they're going to give them shit.
You're good. You're good,
It's
Mel. Don't
Jerry's
worry.
channel, not yours.
And I run a content warning at
I'm
the
sorry.
beginning of my show that says explicit
Right on.
language may be used. So, because I am really bad about the slip of the tongue and saying the wrong word. So,
But
I don't worry about it. And we're
but he's
past
still
the
gonna
first
be-
10
won't he still
minutes.
be
So,
euphoric
we're
after
good.
his parade?
I'm sorry.
Won't he still be like euphoric after his parade on the 14th?
Will he be what?
Euphoric.
Euphoric.
Yeah, you mean it was the best parade. It was the biggest parade. Look how great it was.
Yeah, it was the only parade like this.
The only
I
people
keep
who
waiting for
felt
us to get
invited-
kicked out of the G7 because of him.
I'm sorry, say again.
I said, I keep waiting for the U.S. to be kicked out of the G7 because of him.
I don't know if they would kick us out, but they would certainly set guidelines to keep him from being so rogue and that he can't influence them.
Donald, we want you to sit at the kids' table. Thank you.
You can go sit in the other room. We'll have the Jumbotron on for you.
Was it Linda Grendel that sent me this meme or something? It was a video clip that was a news thing. Tragically, today, Donald Trump library burned all 2 books. Unfortunately, he didn't finish the coloring book or something like that. It was hysterical.
I thought it would be a penthouse and a Ronald McDonald menu.
I'm sorry.
No, it was probably the family album of Ivanka when she was young.
Well, now, Kimberly, you have my answer.
Begins with S. Never mind.
How about this one?
Oh, my
Helen,
goodness.
I can never pronounce her name. Hi, Helen. I think is
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Twilight Zone? Is this the one?
Yeah, I like that one. We've entered. You want to read it,
The
Sherry?
Twilight. Yeah, we've entered the Twilight Zone. Just read an article. Steve Bannon going cray-cray, speaking about how they are going to go after Musk. Then Facebook, Amazon, Walmart gonna break it up into pieces. Yeah, he thinks.
Well,
He
they-
was saying though that
I'm sorry.
Musk. Steve Bannon was saying that Musk should be
Deported?
exported,
Okay.
deported.
They will try to go after Musk, and they'll try to go after Facebook and all of that. But Walmart, by the way, is pretty conservative. So, or the ownership is to my
Well, the ones that are kind of running the show now for Walmart are 2 of the daughters or the granddaughters or something like that, and they're already putting out, look, our prices got to go up because of his tariffs.
That's right. Trump wanted them to eat the money from the tariffs. But
Right.
but the thing is, Walmart.
Thank you, beautiful butterfly.
I'm sorry, say again,
The most of you're in an S mood today, aren't you?
Sorry.
It's
But,
after the first 10 minutes, so we're good. It's just in the first 10 minutes, YouTube gets a little if you're using really bad words, but
the thing is,
that's what I've been told.
No,
Walmart.
sorry.
The employees
Arthur.
of Walmart are the ones that are on Medicaid and use SNAP.
That's right.
Right.
And they're working because they won't let them work a full-time job. Everybody has part-time jobs.
Yeah, and I've seen this meme before for years now, that if you're a business that part of your onboarding system for new employees is to teach them how to fill out forms for food stamps and welfare, then you're not a job creator. You're just a poverty enabler or something like that. I don't remember how it goes exactly, but it's like, yeah, it's like if somebody gets a job, it should not be part of their job to fill out applications to get housing assistance, food stamps, and Medicaid. I mean,
Unless you're a social worker.
yeah, well, yeah, I mean, my son gets Medicaid because of the PTSD and the ADHD and all of that, and he had to go through a lot of crap to get it. But when he had his heart attack last year, that's what kept us out of the poorhouse completely, was because Medicaid paid for the majority of it. And it's like, once they cut him off, I don't know what we're going to do if he has another incident or another, gets sick again. Because it's like, I don't have that kind of money. He doesn't have that kind of money. I mean,
Well, I don't see him getting cut off. So
I don't either.
thank God.
no, but I think
I mean, I haven't either, but it's still, I'm his mom. I'm going to worry about that, because he scared the bejesus out of me last year.
I think they are going to try to go after Musk, but Musk will fight back. I think they'll try to go after all those things that whoever that was mentioned, but those companies will fight back big time. And so, there's going to be a lot of smoke screens. I still see Steve Bannon going back to jail, by the way.
Bingo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I'll tell you who else is going to go in the pokey is Pam Bondi. Just like under the Nixon years, John Nixon
she's going to be disbarred in the process.
went to jail.
Yeah.
I feel like she's gonna go to jail for obstruction of justice and also abuse of power, and she'll get disbarred. Yeah, you're right. I see that too.
And they also, she's trying to get her brother to run the bar in D.C. Ain't going to happen.
And I'll tell you who else is going to go bye-bye is Kristi Noem and Kash Patel. They're going to be under investigation for the same things I've just named. That's what Mike is telling me. So,
you mean we have to look at Kristi Noem without her extensions?
Just don't let her get near dogs or goats. That's all.
Yeah.
Here's Deanne's asking, what is Newsom and other governors meeting about and planning? Probably how to.
They're meeting to have a strategic plan about how to deal with Trump in case he sends military or National Guard to their state. And how much do you want to bet if a blue state asked for the National Guard to come in before Trump did, Trump would say, no, I'm not going to allow him. How much you want to bet? And I see that happening.
I don't see him even letting red states get away with that.
No.
It's going to have to come. I mean, that's just how bad he's gotten this go round. It's got to come directly from him. Nobody else can have any say so for anything. And the minute any of them do, what happens? He goes, he runs to the microphones and goes against them. I mean,
and there's going to be governors. My guy just showed me who are Republican governors from red states. Now it's a handful, but they will also speak up against Trump, and at least 3 or 4 southern states. So you'll see.
I just got a hit from the governor.
Yep.
The governor of Illinois. What's his name?
Yeah. Pritzker.
He's in part of this meeting. He's got a lot to say.
Oh yeah. I drew a card, lies and deceptions. So, and that's what he operates on.
Has anybody got a dog in the background? I hear a dog.
My son went in his room and shut the door without the dog going in, and now he's going to stand at the door and whine.
I was thinking maybe it was my dog. I'm like, or is it a spirit dog?
No, that's the dorky. So
Underdog. Remember that cartoon?
Yeah.
Oh yes, I loved Underdog. That was the
Not,
best.
not birds nor planes.
Holly Purebred.
Frog, just
And
little old me, underdog. Remember that?
here I come to save the day. Yeah.
No, that's Mighty Mouse.
That's
That
Mighty
was
Mouse.
Mighty Mouse. Yeah, it was Mighty Mouse, wasn't it?
Within this world, the underdog speed of lightning. Whoever.
Yeah. I remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah. All right, here somebody's asking, what was the meeting at Camp David about? I wasn't even aware they had a meeting at Camp
I
David.
didn't even hear about that one.
Who met?
I thought he hates Camp David.
He does. That's why I want to know who went.
Why
Who was
wasn't it
there.
why not Mar-a-Lago?
If it was probably how they're going to send in more agitators to create more protest, more violence, to make it look like it's immigrants. So he would have reasons to deport them. You see what they do?
How to pay Proud Boys to infiltrate?
Bingo.
Maybe it
money
had
gonna
something to
come
do
from?
with this. How will MAGA react to Vance if he uses the 25th Amendment against their leader?
I don't think Vance has a certain part of the anatomy to do that.
That, and he would need the rest of the cabinet to vote for that.
Yeah. And while
And
they're getting
most of
awfully
us
close
have
to
voted
wanting to
for
be
it.
there, I don't
I
know
keep
if they
seeing
will do that.
impeachment, and there's going to be different articles of impeachment drawn up. They probably won't even get to the Senate, but sooner or later, that avalanche of impeachment is going to take hold. And I see Trump and Vance being on trial in the Senate for impeachment. And I see Trump gone, and I see Vance gone. I do not see Vance as president, nor do I see Johnson as president.
I get co-conspirators.
I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Get them both as
Co-conspirators.
co-conspirators.
There you go.
Entertainment purposes only.
Right.
But I keep on hearing the song from Dick Tracy. Sooner or later, you're gonna be mine.
You got it. Sooner or later.
Oh, I like Rose Blue put, let's manifest a rainstorm over DC on Saturday.
A
I heard
rainstorm.
60%.
No. We want a hurricane.
It's 60%. Yeah, but people get hurt. It's 60% chance of rain. Last I looked.
Maureen D'Amico asked, is Mel okay? He looks like he's in a little pain. No, actually, I'm not in any pain. It's funny because I've been eating so much red meat because I'm trying to gain some weight back, and they told me to. I got tendonitis in my right ankle and a little bit of gout. And so the doctor gave me a shot right in the joint, and that helped a lot. So if I'm moving around a lot, I'm trying to get my ankle in a comfy spot. So you know what? I take it back. It is a little painful, but not like anything I've been through. So I mean, it's all by degree.
Exactly.
But thank you,
Elaine says they say his assassination was fake. Ketchup from the ears. So did anyone really get killed? And will he be charged for murder if that's the case?
I don't see that at all.
I've always said from day one, my guide said it was manufactured.
It was what?
Butler was manufactured. Butler, PA.
Yeah, it was set up. That's what I always got. And but that the man that was unfortunately unalived was purely accidental, just wrong place, wrong time, moved in the wrong direction.
I don't see Trump being charged for murder in that case. I do see Trump being held criminally responsible for other things, and I also see SCOTUS reversing their decision, or at least redefining their decision on what constitutes presidential immunity and what does not. And by the way, that case still hasn't closed.
No, Denise, I don't know which ones you're talking about, but I'm afraid my dancing days are long gone.
I'm talking about presidential immunity with not loose cannon, but the other judge, the judge in Washington. I can't think of her name right now. And Jack Smith was presenting arguments and all of that. So,
yeah.
I can't think of her name.
Chutkin.
Chutkin, yeah.
Yeah.
That was no nonsense, but I think all that's going to be resurrected too at some point. So.
Mm-hmm.
Janet says, I know we aren't supposed to ask when, but that is always uppermost in my mind.
When is the cake done? When it's done.
I see the number
It's
6. It could be 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months. It could be the 6th of the month. And, then people are going to say, but Mel, you said it was 6 months and it didn't happen. I was like, no, that's not what I said.
Yeah.
I saw the number 6.
I keep on seeing something about September, but
now see, that's the only thing is for the last couple of months, every time I've done readings on it or drawn cards on it, I keep getting the end of summer, beginning of fall. That would be your August, September, October area. So it's like, am I picking something up because
But
we've got a
it's
really bad
fluid.
storm that's going to hit then, or is it going to be them that's the storm? That's
it's
what I
fluid.
don't know. Yeah. It's not anything set in stone. It feels like it's just kind of bobbing and weaving and depending on what happens when. If y'all see another one you want
Here
to answer.
about the Aurora Borealis. She said they're awesome to see in person. I used to live in Alaska. Yeah, the power of that would be incredible just to see that. What they call it, that plasma just dancing around. It almost takes on a life of its own.
Laura Wright says, behind the scenes, do Republicans want to impeach Trump?
Some do, yes, but most of them, the MAGAs want to keep their power, and they will do anything.
Yeah.
To keep power.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, yes, some do, and a lot more are going to want to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as much as I disagree with Rand Paul, I give him credit because he was one of the only ones, as conservative he is and as cray-cray as he is, to stand up against that bill.
Right. And supposedly Josh Hawley did, but then after he met with Trump, everything's A-okay.
Right. Has anybody heard that they tried to dog tag or sneak something through in that bill that gay marriage is unconstitutional?
No, it was with religion, that it's okay if you have religious meetings, you can discriminate against gay people and not be harmed.
In other words, you could not let them into the church or not let them into.
It was all about religious freedom, anti-gay religious freedom.
Well, that's BS because they're using religion, and any religion that really is a Christian religion and talks about love, equality, inclusiveness would never behave that way. They would open their arms to everybody.
Yeah, it's the strangers.
Right. Well, who was it? Pope Francis always welcome the stranger.
Yeah.
Well, Christy had a question very similar to the previous one. Will it be the Dems who will do an impeachment that will stick, or will it be the Republicans who will take out Trump?
I think there'll be
They
some.
have to work together.
I think the Dems will start the impeachment, but I do think that there will be a handful of Republicans in the House that would say, "Okay, we're with this." And
it'll be a bipartisan decision.
Well, in that case, it would be.
Yeah.
I do see some Republicans that'll go along with it.
Yeah. I did hear that Grindr said that they're going to release all the Republicans that used Grindr during the convention.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Grindr was threatening all of the gay Republicans that they were going to let out their names that were using Grindr during the
yeah, they crashed the website twice.
What? I see that actually happening. And then those ones are the ones whose name got caught are going to say, that's not true. No, that's a lie. It's fake news. I see that happening.
Grindr crashed twice during the Republican National Convention.
Yep.
Ooh, I see some Jews coming out.
Artemis, did I already miss a question about Anonymous? Because I don't want to repeat, but I'm not. Needs to drop some information. Is Elon part of Anonymous, or will he give them the intel?
No,
he's not part of them.
Anonymous is separate from that. But Anonymous,
and he's not going to.
Anonymous has got some huge stuff coming out as well.
Yeah, and I feel it's going to be audio tapes. It's going to be videotapes and stuff that you can't refute.
I'll tell you who else.
Marina.
I'll tell you
Marina in the house. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Say again.
What were you going
I
to
said
say?
we got Marina in the house.
Hi, Marina.
Hi, Marina.
I'll tell you somebody else who's going to be in a lot of trouble is Tom Homan.
Oh, yeah.
Good
Yeah, we
deep-
did have a question on him too. Will Tom Homan try and arrest Gavin Newsom?
Yes,
He'll try.
At the direction of the president.
at Trump's direction, but guess what? Trump's advisors will tell him don't do it because it's going to bite him square in the you know what.
Diaper.
Yeah.
The layer below the diaper.
Well, I know Anonymous Artemis also said that they should drop some info. They've been dropping hints, and they said that they've got something really big coming that they're getting ready to drop on everybody.
July 3rd.
In July. So, what a great way to spend our Independence weekend, right? And of course, maybe if it actually lets us be independent from the orange turd, then
Acadian Proud says this, and I've heard her say it numerous times, and I just love this. She said, when things get tough and you want it to stop, set a timer for 5 minutes. Feel what you need to feel, then reset timer for 5 more minutes and do something, anything. Reset timer and repeat. Hopefully by then you feel better. I like that.
Yeah. Just little tricks.
Yeah, I don't count to 10. I count to 135.
I can't count that high.
Sage has a
at least you get to 21 now.
I can get to 3.
Sage says, hi folks. I just heard Macron of France wants automaker Renault to make drones for Ukraine. Will they?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Ukraine.
I got a fast yes on that.
I think Ukraine is already getting drones, and I'm very generic when I say it, weapons from the European Union and from NATO. And so a lot of those countries that are in the European Union, NATO, will work together to supply Ukraine with the tools they need to fight the war against Russia, against Putin. I'm not saying against Russia, against Putin.
Yes.
So.
Well, I got security cameras,
Yeah.
so they're going to be very aware. Then I got fake news.
Ooh, I like the question here.
Which one?
Ideas in the flow. Ideas in the flow.
Ideas in the flow.
What
does it say?
603. Will Trump disclose the existence of extraterrestrials in order to divert people away from the things he's doing? No, because they threw him off the mothership already.
No, he wouldn't do that, but he would be. I mean, he was crazy enough to say that Biden died and it was a clone. I mean, come on.
And a robot. Yeah.
No, he would just be more like it's immigrants from space with these space lasers affecting everybody's minds. That's more like Trump.
Yeah. Well, if they have space lasers, I got some addresses for them.
Exactly. And thank you for the donation ideas in the flow. I appreciate that.
Here, this is really a good one too. Edward Kenneth says, will there be clashes at the DC military parade?
Yes.
I don't think you need to be a psychic.
Well, I don't know at the parade, but I want to tell you something. Outside of different cities, absolute protests.
It's also the protest of no kings that day.
That's right. Well, the
Pope will be speaking that day through digital thing. He's going to do.
I say Sox Park.
They're in Chicago. Yeah.
But I still call it Comiskey Park. But I think, here Trump put it on the 14th for a reason, because the No King's Day, there's going to be a lot of protest for No King's Day. And Trump says, they look at the trouble they started because of my parade. But I got news. There's more people that's going to be watching the Pope than they are Donald Trump.
Correct. Actually, I'm doing an event that day with Valerie, so...
Well, I tell you, I mean, I'm not Catholic anymore, but I plan on watching the Pope that day.
I'm going to watch that too.
It's like I need something uplifting.
What would be funny if one of those tanks that Trump's going to bring through just like sputtered and stopped? Like somebody
Yeah.
put sugar in the gas tank and
Oh,
I think we'll be lucky if they don't like go through the road down into the swamp below.
this is. It's been. I mean, it's in like Tenement Square.
I see like behind the scenes that people he wanted to march in that parade, many of them declined, and he's not going to like that. And a lot of people that do march in that parade at some point, are going to come forward and say they felt coerced or they were paid to do it.
Hmm.
There's going to be a lot of parade remorse for that.
And you can guarantee there will be no injured veterans on a float.
No,
What you
nobody
think
that, yeah. Laura Wright says, are Republicans worried about the midterms? Oh, yeah,
Huge.
most definitely.
Rumor has it that in a lot of those Republican districts, that they are running out of toilet paper because of the worry about the midterm. I'll let you guys figure out the rest of that.
Okay, thank you.
We appreciate that picture in our head.
Yes. My eyes.
Anyway,
Oh,
I've
my
got to run,
goodness.
guys. I think we've been going at this, but I've got
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, we already hit an hour. I didn't realize we'd been on that long.
a lot done.
And we 876 in the room. Wow, thank you, folks. That's amazing. I never had that many people in the room before. Yay.
Good job, girlfriend. Tomorrow night, my channel with Arthur. He's going to be on Aloha Tuesday. Sherry, I want to have you come front and center tomorrow night, if you don't mind.
Okay.
I can have Aiden behind the scenes pulling strings, and
Okay.
and so the three of us will just continue this wonderful conversation tomorrow night.
Pick up where we left off. That's it. So thank you everybody for joining. Sorry we couldn't get to everyone's questions, but there's a lot of crap happening out there. So smile, stay strong. We will prevail. Bye for now.
Bye.